Hey, Andrew. You and your guys, your veterans, you know the Big 12. What do you think? What do you see that your squad needs to clean up as you head into Big 12 play?
Our attention to detail, being ready every play, first team ready, and bringing a consistent effort and level of violence to every game, regardless of the opponent. We're an experienced team. We've been around the block a few times, and it's time to use our experience and help everybody else on this team get on the same page so we can make a strong push.
And to follow up, what have you seen? You guys have played a great pre-conference schedule. You've done well. What have you done right? What encourages you as this team moves forward to play at a high level?
I think we have a real intentional mindset on defense. We're very focused on defense, holding our opponents under their averages and playing very hard, getting deflections. And then, that also carries over into our offense. Our defense leads to transition plays and guys can thrive and play their style of basketball.
Thank you.
And Mark, go ahead.
Yeah. Andrew, do you feel better about your game personally after the other night, making some shots?
Yeah, every day, every game, I'm just trying to get a little better. Haven't played in a while, still getting my feet underneath me. And the more and more I play, the more comfortable I continue to get. So good thing I have good teammates around me, helping me and supporting me, as the games go on.
Thank you.
Chris, go ahead.
Andrew, I got a couple questions for you. First, just before you got sick to now, how are you feeling physically and mentally and all that from before you had your diagnosis? Do you feel like you're all the way back and then some? Do you feel like you're still trying to get back to where you were pre-diagnosis?
Prior to my diagnosis, I feel like physically I'm starting to get stronger, faster, and starting to understand my body. I did recently have surgery, so I'm still trying to get my proprioception right, because I was unable to play for like 3 or 4 months. And so I've only been active for maybe like 2 or 3 months now. So the more and more I get comfortable, the stronger I get lower body-wise. I still work in progress.
And then on the court with the team as a whole, how difficult has this past 7 days been where you're getting ready for Baylor, you're not playing them, you're off for a week, got to shift your focus to Sam Houston State. Now you're getting ready for another Big 12 opponent after having one drop off the map. How have you guys been dealing with it? How has that been for you?
We just have to have a clear mind, approach to each game and be prepared for the unexpected. We live in a time now where there's a lot of unprecedented like situations that can go on, that can occur. So, we just got to make sure we stay ready, stay on the edge, stay safe so we can give ourselves the best chance to win each and every game.
Thanks.
Jeff, go ahead.
All right. Andrew, something I've heard Coach Smart talk about, and I heard you mention earlier today, was that violence on the court. Who is the most, in a basketball sense, violent player on the team? And when they're doing that to the best of their ability, what does it look like?
We have a lot of violent guys on our team, but the one that I say that could stick out the most is Jericho. When Jericho's locked in and moving fast and playing with urgency, he's probably one of the fastest guys in the country and probably the strongest guys in the country. And you'll see that when he's blocking shots, his head's above the rim, disrupting pick and roll situations and not giving up no baskets underneath the rim.
Justin, go ahead.
Yeah, Andrew, what would you – I know you guys have put last season behind you already and are totally focused on this year, but now that you've had some games with this group and you're kind of getting deep into the calendar a little bit and Big 12 play is coming around, what would you say is distinctly different about this group compared to last year's?
Just maturity, the understanding of oneself. We kind of know our roles, we know our abilities, and we're really buying into them, and more we get better and continue to play unselfishly, everybody's games begins to highlight.
And speaking of the roles, how big of a deal is that? Because if you look back to last year, this was around the time you guys went to Providence and had that loss, and it didn't seem like guys kind of knew what their roles were. The rotation was still being tinkered with. How much confidence does it give you guys knowing that each game when you go out there, generally who's going to play and guys seem to know what their roles are?
It's difficult at times for certain guys whose roles are not as significant as others. But, we bought into a plan, and our common goal is winning. So whatever lineup coach puts out there, whatever set that he calls, the whole goal, our common goal is to win. So whatever it takes necessary to win is what we really bought into.
Marcus, go ahead.
Andrew, what do you feel like is different defensively from you guys this year? Is there just more of a sense of urgency, or why is this team, you think, better defensively this year than they were in years past?
Urgency plays a big part into why we're playing, the way we are. Like you said earlier, violence. We're playing harder. We're communicating a lot better, and we just have a better understanding of the teams that we're playing, the offense that they're running, and we're doing a very good job of scouting them. So our scouting and our attention to detail and communication has really helped us throughout these 7 games.
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, Andrew, I think, your senior year of high school, you averaged close to something like 30 points a game, maybe at 30 on the dot. You come in and obviously it's a huge adjustment. You're not going to average 30 points a night. You're not taking all the shots. You're not the focal point of the offense. And now that's something that, Greg Brown is experiencing. How have you kind of tried to help him through that? Have you given him some advice on what it takes to sort of acclimate to the team and go from being a guy that can get 30, 40 every night to being more of a team player?
Yeah, so when you're in high school, like you said, when you're in high school, you really don't have that much support. And you get to do everything. You take care of all the shots, and the team is really on your shoulders. They live and die with you. And when you play on a team full of other guys who were superstars in high school and they come to college, it's really hard to be just that alpha guy who gets 30 and 40 points a game, because our offense is just not ran through one guy. It's ran through, multiple guys. And, one thing he just had to learn is find his niche within the offense. And it's just a learning curve. I had to learn it. I'm still learning it. A lot of guys are still learning, the way to find their offense within, our set plays. And the one thing I tell him is just to learn the offense and then be great at the little things that you do. Like when it's opportunity to catch and shoot. When opportunity to drive. Try to simplify the game without having to do too much.
I mean, for Greg, is it a matter of him just kind of learning to trust his teammates and trust you guys? Because obviously y'all been together for a long time. You know how, kind of how the other guy thinks and how they works, where they want to be. Greg is, sort of the wild card this season. So it's just a matter of, I guess, building that trust and relationship to where he gets the most comfortable.
I feel like he trusts us as a group and older guards from a standpoint of that. I think he's so used to going one-on-one. He's so used to the court. He gets the ball, everybody spread out, let Greg go have fun. And right now, he hasn't necessarily played against a team that's going to scout against him and specifically stop his strong suit. Everybody knows he wants to drive to the rim and do highlight dunks. Another coach is not going to let him drive to the rim and do highlight dunks. So once he starts to make the one dribble pass, then he becomes unpredictable. Then it'll be hard for the teams to actually guard him. So then his drives will open up more, and so will his shot.
Go ahead, Chris.
Andrew, you guys have this confidence from having such a successful non-conference schedule. You beat UNC, you win the Maui Invitational, you take down Davidson in Indiana, you have that close loss to Villanova. How do you keep all of that in perspective and know that, hey, that was just non-conference, now we've got what really matters in the conference slate, and it's, teams are more familiar with you? How do you balance the confidence with kind of some humility going into Big 12 play?
Just to continue to know us, we've built an identity as a team of what we're going to do. Defense travels, and so does rebounding. So as long as we take care of us, play our brand of basketball, play the way we play, we compete with any team in the country.
Nathan, go ahead.
Andrew, where do you think Matt and Courtney have changed their game, and what have you noticed about their game that's maybe grown or changed over the summer?
The one thing I can definitely say is they're making a lot of shots consistently. They really improved their three-point shooting percentages. They're playing harder on defense, and I can see that they have an intent of trying to get everybody else involved with them. They're doing a good job trying to spread the ball around, share the wealth while also getting theirs.
And if there are no other questions, we'll finish it up with Roz.
Yeah, Andrew, you guys have actually, as good as you are on defense, you were pretty good last year. The bigger jump you've made in efficiency, at least, is offense. You mentioned the 3-point shooting, but what else? I mean, why you guys improve the way you see it on offense?
Spacing, we honoring spacing. We're doing a good job of our rotations. So when a guy drives, we know exactly where to go, what spots to get to, when to cut. And, I think we're doing a good job of taking care of the ball as well. And as long as we get a shot each possession, a great shot for Texas each possession, that's when we are at our best.
Is that a matter of experience? If you guys,
Plus we're older guys right now. I'm 23. We got a lot of guys that are 22, 21 years old. So at 18 and 19 years old, it's harder to really understand the game of basketball because high school is just pick up, running down the court, and just play. Now we understand continuity and different concepts that makes us, more mature and understand the game a lot better than we used to.
Thank you.
And we do have one more with Nick. So Nick, go ahead.
Just wanted to ask real quick. You mentioned Jericho before, and we talked about him a little bit this year. But just like you said, he's so strong, he's so athletic, he's so powerful. Does he almost sort of forget sometimes? It feels like he can just go up and dunk over almost anybody. It seems like he sort of forgets he can do that. I mean, how often do y'all have to be in his ear and be like, "Hey man, we need you to be the big guy in the middle. Hold it down, grab boards, block shots, and dunk when you're right there."
Yeah, Jericho is such a nice guy. It's like sometimes you have to light that fire for him, get him going. And I try to talk to him all the time, like, Jericho, dunk on him. Jericho, I'm going to get you the ball. Jericho, be assertive. Because sometimes he'll just fall in the mix and then he'll get lost in the crowd. And once he asserts himself and be dominant like he is and he can be, that's when he's really getting better and showing how strong and athletic he can be.